So, hi guys, it's Cyberleague Marie Arnimnay from Team 1B and currently studying in ISHRM. So for today's video, we were going to make a travel vlog, but virtually. So let me just give you a hint about the country that I wanted to visit, that we were going to visit. It is surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea and by the Red Sea. And I think alam nyo na kung ano yan. And yes, we were going to visit Egypt virtually. So without further ado, let's proceed to our virtual tour. So hi guys, welcome finally to Egypt. So the first thing that we were going to notice when we arrive here in Egypt is their means of transportation. Ano nga ba mga transportation na pwede natin ma-experience here? So meron naman sila mga common means of transport, and that is the microbuses. And the second one is double-deck buses, which is commonly known in Europe. So the next one is railway. So let me just give you a short background about how the railway made. There was this guy, Muhammad Ali Pasha, who planned to build the first railway between Cairo to Suez in 1833 to improve the transit between Europe to India. So, but suddenly, Muhammad Ali died in 1848, but during 1851, Abbas I contracted Robert Stephenson to build the first railway between Alexandria on the Mediterranean coast to Kafr el-Sayat in 1854. And the same year, Abbas I died and was succeeded by Said Pasha, who continued the project and finally completed the extension between Cairo to Suez in 1858, which Muhammad Ali planned. So the next means of transportation is considered the newest means of transport in Egypt, and that is the tuk-tuk. So this means of transportation is only available at Giza and Cairo only, and much more pricier than taxis or bikes, based on kilometer charges. So Egypt is not the first country to produce or to launch this type of transportation, because Pakistan already had this since late 2016. So kung merong newest means of transport, syempre meron din silang oldest means of transport, and that is the river buses. River buses is used for transportation or to provide entertainment to the tourists and to provide them transportation who wanted to visit a destination that are alongside the river or the Nile, kasi dun siya dumadaan. And meron din silang kinoconsider na type of river buses, and that is the Golden Pharaoh Cruise Line. So let's proceed to our next destination. So, when we travel to different countries, we should also visit their cultural wealth or the resources that supports their community to grow, such as this Sohara mine. So, this gold mine is located at Nubian Desert or Eastern Desert near Red Sea in Egypt. So, Egypt was known in ancient world as being source of gold, kaya nga mura yung mga jewelries na nagawa sa gold sa Egypt. Also considered the earliest gold mine that are available in this location. So, the next one is Nile River. So Nile River is considered the longest river in the world, called the father of African rivers. It rises south equator and flows northward through northeastern Africa to drain into the Mediterranean Sea. It has the length of 4,132 miles or 6,650 kilometers. So ancient Egypt called the river Ar or Ur, which means black, an allusion to the color of the sediments carried by the river when it's flooding. And that is why the river is also given the oldest name Kem or Kemi, which also means black. So the Nile in Egypt and Sudan is now called Al-Nil. Egyptian is surrounded by the desert, and that is why they believe that Egypt was the gift of the Nile. So because the flow of the water coming from the river can benefit them agriculturally, which provide them an excellent soil for growing crops. And basically means this Nile is considered as one of their cultural wealth, because it is the source of the water and supports their living. So let's proceed to our next destinations. So this is the part we were going to take a glance on their infrastructure or the underground or surface developmental construction na meron dito sa Egypt, and that is the Sour Gas Field. So Sour Gas Field is located at Chirag Block in the Mediterranean Sea. It is also considered the biggest gas discovery here in Egypt. So this gas field was discovered in August 2015, and the final investment decision on its developmental was made on February 2016. So I was super excited to show you where our next destination is. So without further ado, come on, join me. So, this is the part what I've been wanting to show you guys. So, let's welcome you all to their superstructures. So, our first destination is Egyptian Museum. So Egyptian Museum is located at Cairo, and it was built in 1835 near Esbekaya Garden and then moved to Cairo Citadel. It is considered the world's largest collection of pharaonic antiques, and it has two-story buildings where on the ground floor you can find extensive collection of pottery and coins used in ancient world, and on the first floor you can find artifacts from two dynasties, including items such as tombs and pharaohs. So they also provided two special rooms containing numbers of mummies of kings and their royal family members of the new kingdom. So our next destination is St. Catherine Monastery. It is probably the world's oldest continuous inhabited Christian monastery, and it is located at the foot of the Mount Sinai, or the Mountain of Moses. It is called Mountain of Moses because this is where God appeared to Moses and given him the Ten Commandments. So our next destination is the Temple of Abydos, or the Temple of Seti. So, the Temple of Seti is located at Abydos from the 8th province in ancient Egypt. So, it is the most famous archaeological site in the world. So, it is considered the home of many tombs belong to 1st and 2nd dynasties. So, it has the unique design of upside-down L, and its temple contains of 7 shrines dedicated to 7 gods, which is Osiris, Isis, Horus, Amun-Ra, Rorarti, Ptah, and Seti the First. So the Temple of Seti the First is the most preserved temple of Ramses, beloved by Amun. So our next destination is Abu Simbel, or the Temple of Ramses Meriamun. Abu Simbel is located at southern Egypt and not far from the border of Sudan, and located at the one of the most warmest and driest region in Egypt. So generally considered the grandest and the most beautiful of temples during the reign of Ramses II, and one of the most beautiful in Egypt. So statues represents Ramses sitting on the throne, wearing the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt. So the next to his legs are his wife's mother, his first 2 sons, and his 6 daughters. So the Great Temple was completed about 20 years to build during 1265 BC. So our last destination to visit in their superstructure is the Karnak Temple. So also known for Ipet Eso, or means the most selected places. So it is the largest religious building in the world. It is a city of temples built over 2,000 years, dedicated to the Theban triad of Amun, Muth, and Khonsu. It features 134 columns in the hypostyle hall with 16,454 meters tall. So it is located at Luxor, Egypt. So let's proceed to our last destination to visit here in Egypt. So sadly, this is the last resources that we were going to visit here in Egypt before departing, and that is the natural resources that lies here in Egypt. So our first destination is Dahab. So Dahab is a small town in southeast coast of Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. So Dahab is considered to be one of the Sinai's most treasured diving destinations. So the second one is Red Sea. This sea is a habitat of over 1,000 invertebrate and special and 200 types of soft and hard corals. So it is the world's northernmost tropical sea. Red Sea has a high surface temperature and high salinities make this sea one of the warmest and one of the saltiest seawater in the world. And lastly, White Desert. It can be a camping site. So it is located in Farafara Depression in western Egypt. So before reaching the White Desert, you'll pass first the Bahara Oasis and the Black Desert. So it is look like this because of the volcanic eruption and erosion, so that the entire desert turned into dark shade. And finally, the White Desert. It is a massive of chalk rock formed by erosion over 100 of years, and sandstorm do its job to form it into peculiar rock of formation. So there you go, guys. guys, I hope I have entertained you and also hope that I have given you knowledge about the historical places that lies here in Egypt. And I also do hope that those information that I have given you makes you also want to visit Egypt. So, shukran liyan di mami kalihatan na takiya maratan ukhara. Maasala